Hey, it's Kate from Venison for dinner, and if you've been wondering how Jessa's doing, Homegirl is doing good. Let's milk Jessa. I popped raspberry clafoutis into the oven for the kids for breakfast, and it's time to go milk. Sometimes I just feel like making something in the morning. Breakfast duty is not actually my job, but I often get something started before I head to milk, or make it just because I like to cook and I wanted raspberry clafouti. We are the sweatpant gang for milking this morning, and it just started raining, so we're also the hoodie up gang. Milking is simple right now. 1 wash bucket and 1 milking bucket, because we just need to milk Jessa. And my electric fence is moved. It's a tractor work. We're gonna have to adjust that. That one's not hot, it's just a dummy line. And Mac was working with the tractor yesterday, so we had it down. We need grain for the pigs, grain for Jessa, and alfalfa pellets for Jessa. Look! We decided to go with slabs, like mill and slabs, for budget reasons. Y'all know how that goes. Rails were gonna be like another $1,500, and we have sunk a bunch of money into fencing. Happily, super stoked to have good fences. But there was a place where we could use what we already had. So friends, we used what we already had, which was the slabs, boards, and saved us $1,500. We've had the most lovely bouts of rain. Not getting enough rain, but getting rain finally. And now it says it's gonna get warm again. Like 28, 29 Celsius, which is 85, 90 Fahrenheit, 90 Fahrenheit. But it keeps being like, it'll be like that tomorrow. But then it's like this. So we'll see what actually comes, but we're still excited. They are not pleased to be left behind the line. This water's kind of cold. Sorry, cow.
Oh, hello. You're adorable, Lipsky.
Jessa's been given about 1.5 to 2 gallons a day, which is lots of milk for us. That's awesome. If she's given like 1 a day, then we have to really ration, but as long as she's giving us closer to 2 a day, we're pretty dandy. I have probably 5 gallons frozen. Why are you shifting around? Because you're done your treats and now you want to move around. She wants to readjust how she's standing. I have about 5 gallons. Oh, Jessa. Come on. Come on. Yeah, it's not quite broken. I have about 5 gallons frozen for the baby in case we need to dump Jessa's milk again. Well, we're going to have to, but she's giving enough right now that it'll be okay for a few days. We have to give her another IV this week or next week. It's kind of up for debate on when it is. Anyhow, I've frozen a good bit so that he has bottles of milk even if she doesn't have milk for us. 5 gallons would probably last him 3 weeks. Makes me feel like I should freeze more, but then I always freeze too much, and then I end up with the cow back in milk and all its frozen milk, and you're like, now what? Then you just end up thawing it and feeding it to the pigs because you have so much fresh milk that why do you need frozen milk? I should freeze dry some. That's what I should do. I freeze dried goat's milk from when he had goat's milk. So I do still have that freeze dried goat's milk, and I blended in the food processor the milk powder with probiotics and olive oil and collagen powder so that it was formula similar to the Weston A. Price Foundation formula. So yesterday when I was bringing Jessa in, I need to tell you that we AI'd Jessa. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. I was bringing Jessa in, and I was waiting for her, and Mabel was there. So I was like, let's just bump Mabel and see how this calf feels. Because she's between 6 and 7 months along, and at 7 months along is when you can usually feel the calf. Before then, it's really hard to feel the calf. So to bump a calf, you go to the side of their belly that the calf is on, because one side is their rumen, where they store their left lunch, right runt, if you're looking at them from behind. So I go to bump her, and I press against her. And normally you gotta like get her belly rocking, and then push your hand in so the calf rocks back, and then you'll like feel a bit of the calf. All I did was press once, and I could feel a lot of calf. And I was like, you are definitely on the 7-month side. So, friends, do you know how much I love not knowing when Mabel's due? How much is it driving me crazy not knowing when Mabel is due? Because we never saw her get bred. She was just with the bull. The very, very, very soonest day she could be due is October 9th. The very latest she could be due, well, she was guessed at 60 to 90 days, April 14th. Anyhow, what was I gonna say? Turkey lurkey, get! Turkeys are too friendly. Like, I'm trying to milk here, guys. And it is a freaking funny farm. Oh my goodness, now the toms are coming. Ah! The gate's closed, they can't get in. Anyhow, Jessa, Saturday morning. I was like, I think you're in heat. Not convinced, but I think. there's mucus, but I don't see anybody trying to jump you. So I texted our dairy farmer friend who AIs for us. And I was like, what do you think? And he was like, I can come, it's your call. And he was like, if you don't want to risk your expensive semen you have, because I have like $75. I mean, in the world of semen for bulls, there's much more expensive. But like for the average person, $75 semen is on the higher side. He had $15 Angus. He's like, let's try this. And I was like, sure, let's try this. Because also beef has higher conception rates than sexed dairy. So he comes, he sticks his arm up her. The semen's already thawed and ready to go in at this point. And he was like, I don't think she's in a good heat. He's like, but it's already thawed, so we're gonna use it. I like to sit on just like a little bucket. It gives you like a little support in your squat, but I prefer to sit in a squat and be down low. It's easier on my back for milking a low udder. So Saturday, and he's like, so I'm probably gonna be back in like 3 days. 2 days later, ... She has lots of clear mucus, and I'm like, oh, maybe she's actually in heat now. And turkey, do not peck my phone. Don't peck my cow. Get. So we decide we're going to take a chance. That was Sunday night. The timing to breed her was Monday morning, and we're going to take a chance, and we used Guernsey, sexed Guernsey. So he was like, how she feels, she's either just coming in or just coming out. Don't know. She's in the range of was in heat or is about to be in heat, so we're just taking another chance. And I haven't seen any more signs since. So because we're only milking once a day and they're off grazing way far, we only see them once every 24 hours. So we'll tell in, today is Wednesday. So in like, well, she has long cycles. So in a month, get off my phone. If in a month I haven't seen anything, well, I can do a blood test then, or I can wait another till 42 days and then get her ultrasounded. But because I would know when she was bred and I only have one to test, it's cheaper for me to do a blood test. If I have a few and they're bull bred, it's cheaper for me to get the ultrasound checkup. And convenient. But if she is bred, when the calf is born, if it's dark, well, the Angus took. If it's light, then it's Guernsey. So we're either expecting a Jangus or a Guernsey. But she's probably not bred. Jessa always takes a while to get bred, and so we were like, you know what, at a certain point you have to just start throwing semen at her and seeing if she takes. So that's what we're doing. The one bummer about hand milking versus machine milking is that when you're machine milking, you can drink tea. When you're hand milking, your hands are busy the whole time. For those curious about such things, so Jessa is still doing good. But if you want to know what it costs to treat her, so we didn't have to get a vet out, and so we could do it ourselves. We did have to get the meds from the vet. So it cost $49 plus GST, whatever it was, but I bought a couple other things, so I can't remember what it was. $49 for the sodium iodide IV. The IV fluids that I used, the electrolytes, they were about $10. I can't quite remember. The IV kit which usually I reuse, but I was having troubles with it this time. Like I don't reuse the needle, but I reuse the hosing. So I might check it, but that's $30 at the feed store for an IV kit. The sodium iodide is 2 treatments. So 80, let's say I don't replace the IV kit. I might just like blow air through it with the air compressor and see what's up there. I do need another needle, but I have those. They're like $2 for those giant IV needles. So $50, $30, $10, $92. And knowledge. So, years ago we had a cow who, Mossy, if you've been around a long time, Mossy. Remember when we tried to save Mossy and we were constantly having to give her injections and IVs because she had a lung issue and like all sorts of issues. So many issues. And we had to put her down in the end. She was fighting. If a cow is fighting and wants to live, we will fight for it. If they give up, it's really hard to save them. When we were at that point with Mossy, we had someone else do an IV once or twice, and then we had a farmer come who has since passed away, Rainer Oosterhoff. And until he came and helped us, we were really scared of giving cows needles. Marius and I both were super nervous about it because of how cows reacted when you did it and everything. And Rainer came with just this chill demeanor, and he was just so like calm and confident in how he gave the injections and how he did the IV. And after he left, Marius was like, I feel like I can do anything now. Like that was so amazing to watch him work in that way and to witness that energy around cows while he was giving injections and giving the IV. And then since then, we've had to give IVs for various things. Marius has gone to neighbors' houses who need IVs to cows because they know Marius knows how to do an IV. It is a lot easier to do an IV on a cow that is down. I'll tell you that. Doing an IV on Jessa, where she was fighting us, that's the first time I've had to do an IV on a cow that was still up and at 'em, and is way easier when they're not feeling good. So, having cows, that's like a cheap treatment for cows too. But having cows is not simple. You have to have stuff on hand. You have to have vet access or access to meds. And it's not cheap, but also we still think it works out for us because of the amount of things we don't buy in the grocery store because we have cows. We estimated recently based on if we were buying like mid-grade dairy in the store, not high end, like comparable to what I make for cheese and things and butter, but just like the basics. You're buying the basics. We would spend $1,000 a month on dairy. We work it out right now that our hay bill every year is covered by selling a heifer because we keep having heifers to sell. So for the last few winters, what we spent on hay is covered by selling a heifer. Last year we sold one in fall and one in spring for a total of $4,200. I think hay maybe cost a little bit more than that, but still. And obviously there's our time, but we enjoy it. Like literally, I was like, Mac, I'm going to milk this morning. He was like, I want to go milk. And I was like, no, I want to milk this morning. I haven't milked in days. And he was like, but I love milking. And I'm listening to a great podcast when I'm milking. And I only listen to it when I'm milking. And I want to keep listening to it. And I was like, no, it's my turn to milk. He was like, we need more cows. And I was like, just you wait. We have 3 due this fall, winter. So we love our cows. We love what we get from them. You have to have, the thing about big livestock is you have to have Big money behind them. So, let's go put this cow away and deal with milk, and then go have some raspberry clafouti.